In 1453, the Ottoman army breached the Theodosian walls of Constantinople, ending a Roman legacy that had stood for over 1,000 years. But if those walls had held, history would look very different. We'd be looking at a timeline where Byzantium survived into the 21st century. For this to happen, we have to erase two major historical threats. We need to stop the 11th century Turkic migrations into Anatolia and prevent the betrayal of the Fourth Crusade that shattered the empire's unity in 1204. Removing those invasions allows the Byzantine state to stabilize. It maintains a territorial core across modern-day Greece, the southern Balkans, and western Anatolia. Defending those borders with stone and steel works in the Middle Ages. But as the world enters the modern era, the empire faces a threat that walls can't stop: a globalized economy. A surviving Byzantium wouldn't remain a frozen, glorious Roman juggernaut. It would be a state forced to face a brutal economic reality check. Bypassing the Crusades to save Constantinople does more than change the Mediterranean. It rewrites the history of the entire continent. Without returning crusaders, religious orders like the Teutonic Knights never form. This removes the foundation of a militarized Prussian state, which in turn alters the entire path toward German unification. When the Protestant Reformation eventually arrives, the conflict is significantly more complex than it was in our timeline. Europe is locked in a three-way religious Cold War. Catholics, Protestants, and a powerful Orthodox Byzantine state are caught in a permanent gridlock that prevents any single power from dominating. This political stalemate protects the Byzantines from continental invasion, but it also leaves them distracted while a catastrophic technological shift occurs off their shores. Byzantine wealth relied on a Silk Road monopoly, forcing Asian goods through Mediterranean bottlenecks. This is ruined in the 15th century by the deep-water caravel. Atlantic nations use these ships to bypass the Mediterranean, forging direct ocean routes to India and the Americas. This 1570 map shows the new global reality. Compared to the vastness of the Atlantic and the newly discovered continents, the Mediterranean is suddenly reduced to a minor, irrelevant lake. While Atlantic empires accumulate wealth through global mercantilism, the Byzantine economy, still tied to the old land routes, stagnates and starves. The empire isn't conquered by a foreign army, it is bypassed by global capitalism, leaving it the broke, sick man of Europe. By the 19th century, the rise of ethnic nationalism begins to pull the empire apart from the inside. The old Byzantine model, an autocratic structure reliant on foreign mercenaries, is incompatible with the industrial era. Industrialization requires a literate, unified workforce and a professional national army. To avoid total collapse, the empire must pivot. It has to shed its ancient imperial identity and reform into a centralized nation-state that can manage a modern economy and a mobilized citizenry. This evolved state functions as a mid-sized regional power, occupying a consolidated territory comprising modern-day Greece, western Anatolia, and the southern Balkans. Empires are bound to the economics of their era. You can save the walls of a city, but you can't stop the rest of the world from moving forward.